Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aaron's High Cavalry Radio program. I'm Matt, your host, and we're doing a live interview here. Actually, you'll be hearing it recorded later on, but we're interviewing the Cameron Police Chief Randy Dixon, talking about the new police building, the police department that they acquired and we're fixing up. And we're showing you on the video, if you get a chance to watch it on video, we're showing you what it looks like from the outside. I'm going to come up now and link up with Chief Dixon, and we're going to go inside and talk about all the things that he's been accomplishing and getting done to get this building up and running by August, I believe it is. So, Chief, you there? How you doing, Chief?
I'm doing good. You doing all right?
I'm doing great. He's a little busy at the moment, so we're going to cut and come back and show you all the things that are going on here at the Cameron PD. Okay, everybody, we're back again with the Chief of Police for Cameron, Texas. That's Chief Randy Dixon. Chief, we were outside, we said hello to you, now we're back in the building here, and I know you're a busy man, you got a lot of things going on, so let's talk to you just for a few minutes. And I wanted to tell everybody what you've done here, like the brainchild. Tell us about what started this all, the old station, and how it was necessary to move to another place.
The old police station basically was basically out of its era. There were some issues inside it, no running hot water. There was some other issues with asbestos. Then we finally found out there wasn't asbestos. And we decided it's time for a new building. It's time for us to get into the 21st century. So our city manager brainstormed this building. He and I talked about the effectiveness of this building, the usefulness of this building, and we came up with a plan where we could turn an old CPS building / old grocery store into a modern police facility that is going to have every amenity of something that costs $1 million, $2 million. So we've saved the taxpayers thousands upon thousands of dollars by going into this building, by renovating this building and turning it into something that's going to be modern and useful. Very good program. The way we're saving a lot of money, to be honest with you, is there's a program that the United States government has for law enforcement called the 1033 program. It's the revitalization of used military equipment. Much of what you see in this building, much of the equipment that was used to build this building was part of that program. I had one officer that took the bull by the horns, somebody that I'm very proud that he did, and he's very studious with it, and he made this into a program that is useful not only for this building, but for the law enforcement community in Cameron, Texas as well. A lot of times you hear on the news about the the armored vehicles that the government was giving away, and there was some controversy over that. They also were giving away a lot of other things, tires, wheels, a lot of apparatus that was used in safety, metal that's used in this building. So we used Tony Gunas, my officer here, to do the research, and he took the bull by the horns and made numerous trips across Texas and Louisiana to bring back equipment that cost the city absolutely not one red penny.
That's fantastic.
Not a red penny. All it took was the gas to go up there and get it, and a little bit of work to get it fixed if something wasn't quite running. A couple of things that we got to give you a brief idea: $150,000 apparatus that was a front-end loader, backhoe, and dump truck combination. We also got a dump truck that's going to be used in excavating around the building. A diesel dump truck that retails $80,000, $90,000 that we picked up, absolutely no cost whatsoever for us. So I want to introduce to you, if I could, Tony Gunas. He has been a police officer here for the city of Cameron almost 2 years, a long-time law enforcement officer, and he is the brainchild of picking up our equipment that we're using.
Officer Gunas, we're going to talk to you in just a second, but I wanted to ask Chief just one or two more questions. Chief, off the top of your head, I hope I don't put you on the spot. Basically, do you have any idea what it cost the city and what it would have cost the city and what an estimated total savings of the city you've done based on your efforts to get this building up using grants and military equipment?
This building, to build brand new or to even renovate using just city funds, more than likely been in the neighborhood of $2 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
This building, when we're finished, will be under $400,000.
Fantastic.
And that's a great savings to the citizens of this city.
So when you say $400,000, is that the actual estimated amount that's coming from the city?
That's the estimated amount. We've spent, the building cost X number. We have allocated another like amount to renovate it. And we've picked up some grants along the way that have built and put in a lot of things for us here.
So it's not that it's, oh, this would be nice. It was a necessity. So it had to be done. And based on your leadership, you were able to get this done for, gosh, $1 million plus less than what it could have cost.
Well, I like to think it was all my leadership, but I know there's other people's coming in as well. But yes, we've saved, I estimate, $1.5 million to the city of Cameron, because we had to have a new building. The other one was a danger trap.
That's fantastic. I appreciate your hustle on that. And Chief, I've known you for a while, and I know you're a good guy, and you're always looking out for your officers and keeping the streets safe. Well, I just want to thank you very much for your time and your service. And I know you're busy and you got to go, so we're going to cut here, and we'll talk to Officer Tony Gunas, and we'll take a little tour of the building, see what's going on, and he'll give us some internal details of what's going on. So
sounds great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, we're back again here with Officer Tony Gunas. He's a hard-working man here. You can see the sweat coming off him, doing a lot of work. Officer Gunas, thanks a lot for the interview. We're going to continue on from what Chief Dixon left off, and since you're so personal with this building, you know what's going on. First, tell us your experience as to why you're working on this building and how your expertise can really pay off well.
I used to own my own construction company. I used to build custom homes and track houses and do a lot of remodeling and whatnot, along with being a police officer at the same time. I've got 26 years of law enforcement experience. Came to Cameron about 2 years ago as a reserve officer, 2.5 years ago as a reserve officer. In August of 2014, I was hired full-time.
I'm assuming that getting into a building like this and building it up is a great morale booster for the officers, knowing they've got a great place to come. It's going to be clean and modern, efficient, so it can serve the public even better. Wouldn't you say that's true?
Yes, sir. Right now we are confined to one floor of the old police department building. We work back to back. Our desk are sitting back. You push your chair back, you run into the other officers. It's really crowded. There's no room for anything to work on anything. Really, it's really tight. Not having hot water and.
That's right. We were discussing that pre-interview. You've had no hot water in that building for a long time. Here you travel quite a ways to get to work. You know, you get dirty, you want to wash up, there's no place to go.
No, sir.
And we'll be talking about that later on in the interview about the shower facilities. But I'll tell you what, why don't you start us off, give us a tour, and we'll talk. And as we move around, I might cut the video and we'll restart it again, everybody. But a lot of good stuff here. We'll try and get you a visual verbally, but later on, this video will be posted on our Facebook page. You can check it out. So, Officer Gunas, why don't you give us a tour of the building?
This is our lobby area. It'll all be tiled. Of course, we have the doors. We get new doors and stuff being installed next week. We have a bathroom. It's all going to be all tile. And basically, this building is for courts and for the police department and for courts.
So it's all one building, has everything you need in one location as compared to going this place or another place, which makes it inconvenient for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And instead of pretty much easy to get to, if you need police services, you'll go to that window, which is our dispatch office where our dispatchers are at. If you got court services, you'll come over here to the court clerk's office.
And you know, sometimes people get situations where they got to pay tickets or something that's kind of private, a little bit embarrassing sometimes. And you were telling me about how you separated it off from the main lobby here with this little room so people can conduct their business in more of a private manner. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That originally was the entrance to the building. We closed off the deal and put a window in, and now we still have the vestibule where you can go talk to the court clerk in private, take care of your business in private. If we have court, which we have like once or twice a month, this is our new courtroom.
Let's go on inside and see what we got. And we're walking now out of the lobby, everybody coming into the courtroom, and you can see all the tools. Everybody's hard at work here. And I think you said, Tony, it's going to be August sometime, hopefully.
We plan on moving in the week of August 15th.
Okay, and that's going to be where the judge sits. And what's that little box over there? Is
that's
that
the witness stand.
Witness stand?
In the back corners where the court clerk will sit, in the jury box. And out here's where all the chairs and stuff will be for the jurors and for people watching.
Fantastic.
Court services.
When people come in, is there any type of security for this courtroom other than officers?
This courtroom is normally, if we're not having court, this courtroom is secured with an RFID lock. If you don't have a pass card, you're not getting in the building.
I'll tell you what, let's talk about the outside of the building too, since we brought this up.
Okay.
This building is extremely secured for your protection and all that. Why don't you, do you want to discuss that at all? Just to let people know that, hey, this is a safe
This is a
place.
very well-built building. It was built in 1958 as a Safeway. It's got concrete block walls, and then they went on and put brick on the outside of that. What we did is we came along. The outside of the building was beat up really bad from the storms and stuff. The windows all leaked. They're all rotted out, so we had to pull all the windows out. We revamped the front end of the building and had a contractor come in and lay all the brick and the columns and whatnot in front. We replaced all the windows in the building. They're all energy efficient.
Now, I saw it when I was driving by all the time. I would see you guys taking down the front of the building. I was thinking, what are you doing? And as time progressed, I got to see the beautiful front with the brick and the trimming of the white stone, and you got the lights up there, and you're gonna be putting up the Cameron PD sign up there. It's gonna look really
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay, so we've got the courtroom.
So we have our courtroom. On that side is all courts. We have offices for the judges. Both our main judge and our assistant judge. The clerk has her own office back on that side. Then we have a jury room for deliberations.
Let me give a shot down here of how long this building is. If you can see in the perspective of the video, if you go to watch it on Aaron's Gunshot Facebook page, you'll see how deep the building goes. It's not just a little, rinky-dink building.
The building is approximately 165 feet from front to back.
Wow, that's a lot. How much square footage would that be?
We're right at about 8,000 square feet now.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to cut it here. We're going to move on to another segment, and we'll talk about more aspects of the building and all that. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, everybody, we're back again, and we're moving to another portion of the building. And why don't you give us where are we going next?
We'll be going to the dispatch office.
That's a very important place to go, right?
Very important. It's the hub of the police department.
All right, let's take a walk in there. Let's see just kind
It's
of
all
how big
secured. Passcode card, key, security. It's about twice the size of our current office. Before our dispatchers would have to come out of the dispatch office, be relieved by an officer to go to the bathroom even. So we've installed a bathroom in the dispatch office where they can still hear the radios and stuff when someone's calling or the phone's calling.
That's right.
They'll still be able to take care of business.
Okay, and the old facility didn't have that. You said
That wasn't possible.
Okay.
They had to leave the dispatch office, go down the hallway to the bathroom.
And I know you can't do that. I understand it.
Somebody has to be at the radio all the time.
Okay.
Phones all the time.
And what do we have over here, sir?
This is our greeting area, the window to the lobby. If you have a problem, you'll come to this window. The dispatcher come over. They'll be able to see you when you walk in the lobby because all the video cameras in the building that we're having installed.
And I noticed also, too, how secure this place is. Every place is a protective zone. So
Yes,
everybody can feel very secure and safe. And that's very good to know for the officers. Okay, and so we've got the dispatch window. We've got the new addition of the bathroom. It may sound funny, ladies and gentlemen, but it's an extremely important part. If you have any familiarization with law enforcement, how it works, you cannot leave the radios. You've got to constantly be on standby in case the officers call, 911 call, so on and so forth. Okay,
the dispatch office is basically the brain of the police department. Everything comes into here.
And can you tell us,
And
without
then
giving
goes
away
out.
anything, like what type of equipment you'll have to help you
We're
out?
going to have a 911 computer. Our 911 computers, when you call anywhere in Milam County, and you call 911, most of the calls come here to the Cameron Police Department. And then they're routed to whichever department or whichever agency needs to take care of that problem. Then we'll have...
Who selects or who chooses, or how does it come to pass that Cameron PD is the hub?
I would imagine CITCOG, Central Texas Council of Governments.
Okay.
They fund most of that and run most of that.
Okay, so you'll have your monitors here, you'll have your radios here. Didn't you have a brain room over here, computer systems?
The 911 room and the computer and the radios will all be in their own room now, closer to dispatch. And then we have our network room, which is our phones and our network servers and stuff. We'll have our state computers in here also, so we can run driver's license and whatnot, enter stolen items and put bolos out and that kind of stuff. And the radio console, and then another computer for the dispatcher to keep track of our officers. Our cop syncs on a separate computer for that. And it'll all be set up in like a horseshoe. And currently, our monitors are all sitting on the desk. We're modernizing our dispatch office.
You've got to, with the way things are going, you just got to.
All of our monitors are going to be up on the wall, mounted to the wall. They'll have plenty of room on the desktops and stuff, new countertops.
That just makes you
Everything they
all the
need.
more efficient, right?
Yeah, they'll have their own refrigerators and stuff here. Something else we got from the government at no cost to the city.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, you're doing such a major upgrade, like Chief was saying, $1.5 million in savings because of the energy, excitement, ingenuity of going and finding it, becoming active and trying to get those grants.
Some of the structural material on the outside of the building was gotten from the military.
So
The steel. And
that's
stuff
your
we
tax
use.
dollars, everybody. It's being recycled, so that's great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's cut again, and I want you to show us the areas that you didn't have before. You've discussed some here in the dispatch room, but I know there's a few other places that you've discussed that, hey, we didn't have this before. Now, because of the size of this building, we are able to put it all under one roof. So let's take a couple of those. I'm going to cut the clip here, and we'll move over to another segment, and we'll start from there. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, everybody, we're back, and I've been escorted into the evidence locker room. I guess you didn't have it. Where would you keep the evidence before if you didn't have an evidence room?
Evidence before, we had an old gym locker, really small boxes and stuff we were using, sitting alongside of a refrigerator in the hallway.
Okay,
That's where we dumped our evidence at. And the evidence officer had to process it and then take it outside to our old jail. And it was all in the old jail stuff.
And right here is this is the police chief's office. He's got a whole bunch of equipment in there in the moment, but it's going to look good, I'm sure. And I think the chief going to keep that Aaron's Gun Shop rotating trophy for you. Everybody, just in case you don't know, the Cameron PD won the competition
It'll
this last year.
probably be put in the lobby area. On
Yeah,
the
you
shelf.
guys need to do a trophy case.
Yeah, there'll probably be a trophy case out in the lobby.
Okay, cool.
We didn't, like I said, we didn't have evidence lockers, and we've custom built an evidence locker.
And that's all your handiwork, right?
That's all our handiwork.
Did you have something back there you want?
Behind that room, behind that steel door is our evidence lockers. Secured area. We have our gun locker. We have a storage room back in there inside the building for current cases and whatnot. Current cases all be stored right there. And some of our older stuff. But we didn't have that before.
So
We had 6 lockers to put the stuff in. The evidence officer had to come in every day and do it, and then take it out and put it in the big storerooms.
Yeah, that takes a lot of work off.
A lot of time.
Okay.
So we didn't have that. So, and then we have our body cam cameras, our body cam computer, and our in-car video computers will all be right in here also.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to move to another. Okay, everybody, we're back on again, and we're entering now the officers' training room. And you were telling me just before me turning back on the mic here that you had to go somewhere else to do officer training, right? Where would that be?
We would have to find locations. We've used one of the churches in town let us borrow one of their rooms. Fire departments where we normally went for training classes. Not real big, and always had to borrow someplace else. We've never been able to do a lot of training in our department. We always had to go someplace else to do our training.
That's great. How big do you think this room
So
is?
with this building, this is about, I would say about 1,500 square feet, roughly.
That's great.
It's
You can do a
about
lot of
30
training.
by
there.
40 or so. Chief got a grant, got us drop down screens, overhead projectors. Through the 1033 program, we got the tables and stuff that will go in here. We also got the printers and stuff that will go in this room. For the officers and whatnot, we got printers from the military. We got all the chairs through the grant. We acquired stop sticks for our patrol cars through a grant.
Explain what that is again. The stop sticks.
Stop sticks are pursuit ending devices.
Like strips.
Spikes.
Spikes.
They're
Spike strips. Okay.
They're real easy to use. They're not dangerous once you've deployed them, pull them back up, you pick them back up and throw them back in your car. And
I want to make a
continue
comment to you and to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear all across the nation how police and law enforcement get militarized. I want to tell you something about Cameron PD. You can talk to them. They look like the guy on the street, ready to do their job, but they don't look threatening. I just think it's great. You do a great job. You get your job done. You look well, and you're still approachable. It seems like you're approachable. Some places I go to, they have more of a more stern attitude. So what's nice about it is you're upgraded, you're efficient, you're effective, and yet you guys, you're still approachable and personal. I like that. I think a lot of people like that too. Okay, so you get a lot of training done here, and those are more officers' rooms, offices.
This was a room that was already set up for records. Instead of keeping all of our stuff in filing cabinets like we're now packed in a very small room the size of one of these offices, we now have a full, it's all enclosed with shelves and stuff down the middle, down the sides. It gives plenty of room and we don't have all that stuff packed into a little bitty space.
Right, more
anymore.
efficient.
So when you go to look for something, you can find it
Fantastic.
instead of having to dig through a bunch of stuff.
And you got 2 offices back there too. Those are for the.
Those are our sergeant's offices. That's where they'll be at. Our investigator's office, and then the training officer and the 1033 officer have their own office separate. Before, we were in a hallway. We pushed your chair back, you bumped into the guy behind you.
Yeah, that's not good.
We had a limited number of computers, but luckily through the government program, we've gotten 15 computers, we've got laptops for everybody, we've gotten cameras, we've gotten
And you know what else is cool?
all kinds of
A
stuff.
stone's throw away from here, you got a great shooting facility too. I think it's called Aaron's Gun Shop in High Cap Adventures. So the officers come on out, they can do some training, some tactical maneuvering, they can compete for their trophy again next year. Okay, that was just a little side note. Okay, let's do this. I think we've got a couple more spots we're going to check out, and we're going to shut the tape here, and we'll come back on in just a second. All right, everybody, I'm coming into another location here that did not exist before this building was revamped. So why don't you tell us about what this room is for, because you didn't have it before, and it makes it much more convenient to get your job done.
This room is a juvenile processing area. We were grandfathered in with our old building because it's an old building. Moving to the new building, we have to have an area to process juveniles. They can't be seen anywhere around adult prisoners. You can't have any visual contact or anything else. And that gives us, we have our own outside door. I'll bring a juvenile prisoner in here, book them, and then take them to the facility to hold them.
And if they're watching on video, like you can on Aaron's Gun Shop Facebook page, you'll notice the door has an internal lock on the doorknob. But tell us again, Officer Gunas, the security.
All the outside doors are all RFID.
And you can see it there on the wall. So you cannot get anywhere in this building or move through the building if doors are locked without
No,
proper
it's a
identification.
highly secured
Highly
building.
secure building. Okay, let's move on to another part of the building.
Passing the storage room. We have our break room in the kitchen. One of our judges was nice enough to buy us a new oven. So we'll be able to fix meals here for training facility stuff, or we have a gathering or whatever.
So instead of calling in that late night pizza run, you can start cooking your food
Come
here,
back,
right?
cook your dinner.
All right.
Eat healthier. We'll have a new water heater for the buildings. We'll have hot water. We revamped one of our bathrooms back here to put a shower in it. So officers that live outside of town, they need to get cleaned up, can get cleaned up. If we have to spray somebody and decontaminate them, or they get something on them, mud or whatever, or get wet, they can get in here, get a shower, get cleaned up, and get back to work instead of having to leave.
And not with cold water anymore. But
Not with cold water anymore. We're gonna have hot water, brand new hot water heater and hot
You
water.
smile every time you say that. I think that's one of the most exciting things for you about this building. You got hot water.
Hot water is an interesting thing. That if you don't have it, you really want it. So we've got it.
All right.
We've got a separate bathroom for our prisoners in the back. We've never had an interview room before. That's something we have now. We have a secured interview room, and then we have a soft interview room for other interviews and stuff. Before we had to use our courtroom. If it was occupied, we had to figure out something else to do. We don't have that problem anymore. Both these rooms are recorded 24/7. When there's people in here, copies made of the video all the time. For interviews, all of our interviews are videotaped, audio and video. So we'll have all of that for prosecutions and whatever else we need it for. And we didn't have that before. And this room is being furnished by the military. We've gotten chairs and couch and stuff and tables and whatnot.
Fantastic.
And then we're putting that here.
I'll tell you what now, as time is running out, let me ask you this. You guys are really breaking your backs, working hard and hustling, getting this up. Is there anything the public can do listening to this interview if they want to do something to help, contribute? Is there anything you want to mention that maybe can possibly help out PD here? Need help? Donations?
I don't know if we're taking donations or anything, but we do need some help. We are looking for a couple people to help out to do the finish work in here.
So if this goes out and somebody hears it, they can call the Cameron PD and say, hey, I heard this on Aaron's High Cap Adventures radio program. You were seeking some help. They can give the office a call.
Now, I'm looking for an experienced trim carpenter and an experienced tile setter. That's the main things we need to do. If people want to come down and volunteer some time and paint, if they're decent painters, help clean up whatever, they feel like doing that kind of things, we could always use the help.
Well, there's the call, everybody. Maybe a Boy Scout troop or something can help out, but there's the call. Cameron PD is working very hard and diligently to get a building that is up to speed, 21st century, and $1.5 million under what it normally would have cost had they just built it outright. So fantastic. Parting words.
We're doing best we can, fast as we can, and trying to get everybody into this new building.
And once again, it's going to hopefully open up mid-August.
We will be in the building the week of August 15th.
Can you make I don't know if we talked about this. Can you make a comment to the short period of lag time between shifting from the old station to the new one, and who covers?
Some of the stuff will take 24 to 48 hours. Some of it will take a couple of hours. Our phone service should be not uninterrupted. I've talked to people that are moving our phone systems. We'll be able to still be answering phones the whole entire time we're moving. So we'll have some downtime on some of our radio stuff and some downtime on the 911. The 911 will be transferred over to Rockdale, and Rockdale will answer the 911 calls and then transfer everything back to where it has to go at that time.
Fantastic. So you got it all covered. It's all thought out, and it's working pretty smooth. I want to thank you very
Yes,
much
sir.
for your time. And everybody, if you can, lend a hand. Call the Cameron PD. What's the number to the PD they can call?
Call a regular number for the police department.
All right, regular number to the police department. If you've got painters, carpenters, or just free services to help clean up, they would love
Like I
it.
said, if they want to come by here and talk to me.
Very good.
I'm here 5 days a week usually.
Okay. All right, everybody. We'll be talking to you again, and I hope you enjoyed the interview. Don't forget to check it out on Aaron's Gun Shop Facebook page. If you didn't get a chance to hear it now, spread the word. Or if you heard it now, spread the word to other people. Let them watch the video as well. And go ahead and like us on Facebook too. So we'll talk to you soon.